Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to welcome you to another Stories of Hope. And I'm very excited about our guest today, Pusaleto from Mind Retirement Institute. And I think at a time where we have no idea what the new normal looks like, what Pusaleto is doing and her message is something that I really believe will give all of us hope. So Pusaleto, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much, Elmarie. I was looking forward to our conversation.
Fantastic. Pusaleto, why don't you start off by telling us a bit about what it is that Mind Retirement Institute is doing and why you feel that this is such an important time for the type of conversations that you are having.
Mind Retirement is all basically helping individuals or professionals, even entrepreneurs, to be aware of themselves, to be able to see what they are capable of, their strengths, their areas of improvement. But most importantly, it is a way of how to improve yourself to become the best version of yourself. So when it comes to the times such as this, during the lockdown, many people don't have time to spend with themselves. They don't have time to reflect. They don't have time to plan. And they also don't have time to really seek to understand what the decisions that they have taken, what caused them to make such decisions, what are things that are triggering them. People are on an autopilot moment. They are definitely not intentional, they're not conscious, and they're not present in their own lives.
I think that's very true. You know, I think in a time of crisis, a lot of us feel that we have to do something. I've certainly seen that with the small businesses that I work with, where there is so much information coming at them about what they should do so that they can stay in business and do this and do that, go there, that actually a lot of them don't take the time to breathe and just think it through. So in your day-to-day engagement now with small businesses, where do you think the mindset of especially small entrepreneurs are currently? Where are people's thoughts?
The people are in a panic mode. People are very reactive. People are now looking at, how do I get out of this, and what is something that can rescue me from this moment? So that from an external perspective, in terms of how can government assist me? How can somebody fund my business so that I can stay afloat? How can I who can I sell this to so that I can keep the cash flow going? So it's more on the panic, it's more on the trying to still get yourself afloat. But at the end of the day, sometimes we have to then take this time and say, should something like this happen again, will my business still sustain it? Are there things that I need to put in place in order for me to be more relevant in the future? What is it that I haven't been doing right that this moment is actually reflecting that I need to go back and fix? Because we saw during the COVID-19, there was some funding that came about for small businesses, and majority could not access such funding because they didn't have admin in place, they were not compliant, they didn't have financials in place. And obviously, everybody has been thinking they're running business, but they have been just surviving to get money to just put the bread on the table. So now, at this moment, I think this moment presents to us is to go into yourself to say, am I doing what I'm understanding? What are the things that I can equip myself with now so that when I go back, perhaps you needed to do more of sales and you've been fearing the fact that you don't know how to sell your products, how to sell your services. This is the moment to start equipping yourself. But then it goes deeper than just learning how to sell. It goes with the belief. Do you see, when people don't believe they can do something, they can't. It doesn't matter how much you teach them. So when you are aware that you have self-limiting beliefs that are preventing you to do certain things, even when government gives you that funding, you will still find yourself in the pit hole. So we need to be able to first get ourselves out of limiting beliefs, out of the fears that we have, the destructive emotions, And majority now during this moment, they are now going back into meditating on the pain. The only thing of meditating on the pain is to cause more pain.
Yes.
The only thing to meditate on the leg is when you start seeing it becoming a mountain. And it's becoming overwhelming to a point that you think your life is over. So what are the thoughts that you are meditating on during time of crisis? What do you say with your mouth to change the situation, or are you adding oil into fire? So we have to be mindful of and be present to say, for me to change my energies and my circumstances, it starts with how I think about it, how I believe about it, and what I say about it.
That's so true. You know that saying where they say, you know, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I always took that as a positive, you know, so you change the way you look for the positive in everything. So the things that you look at will change. But I think during a time like this, if you only look at the negative, all of a sudden, all that you are going to see is the negative. And I think that's really important as well, is to make sure that you don't add, as you say, you know, you don't add to that fire of negativity.
Yes, especially in our minds, because the negative thoughts actually lead to our actions. And you'll be amazed that when you wake up in the morning and you already think, I don't have food to eat, it changes already your attitude and your atmosphere. And you already go into a day with a lot of negativity, and a lot of negative things you will start attracting. Don't be amazed that you get the next call of somebody who's just been nice to you. So it's like, it's a spiral effect. But you wake up in the morning and say, I know this day is going to be a better day. Your expectation and hope calls for that to happen. You start fixing your eyes on the positivity, and that's why even the Bible talks about faith, to say faith must be as small as a mustard seed. We just need to hold on to that mustard seed within our mind, because that's what keeps us going. All of us are going through turmoil. We go through downtime. We don't go through difficult situations. And I can tell you now, majority of small businesses are going through a very tough moment, but there are some who are not locked down mentally with the moment. They're rising above that. They've already been innovative enough to come up with new ideas, new concepts, and to diversify their businesses into focusing into the future. They're planning ahead. And by the time the lockdown comes, they already know where to go. But some people are still trying to talk about its lockdown, what government is doing negatively, and focusing on alcohol, focusing on cigarette ban. They're not building themselves to what does the new times that are coming calling you for?
Yeah.
Are you prepared for it? Because even if you're out of lockdown, is your mind free? Because that's where we should always be liberated, to free our mind. Hence, for me, I call it mind retirement, is not to bombard your mind with negativity. Retire from all the negative thoughts that are weighing you down. It's like you're putting a cement on top of your shoulders, where you are fighting the world, but then at the same time, you're fighting an internal war. So why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah. And you know, stress actually lowers your immune system, and it manifests in all kinds of aches and pains. I am amazed at how many people are saying, you know, they have, you know, during the lockdown period, you know, they get up and they have backache, or they have headaches all the time, you know, and I absolutely believe it is because we are surrounded by an energy of negativity and fear, and that has an impact on our bodies.
No, definitely. And many people don't change easily. To some, change comes easy and they adapt, they become very resilient and they bounce back. While some, really, you need to resuscitate them to catch up with the current. And I've said a lot, especially this past week, I've been doing a lot of coaching with SMMEs. And I've realized that there are those who are very optimistic, and sometimes that it could be a bit too much because they're setting themselves for failure, especially those who set their goals for this year to say, I want to reach X amount. And then I'm asking, with the impact of lockdown, has that changed? And they say, no, I can still reach it. But then you realize that they don't even have proper sales strategy in place that confirms that they thought through this idea. Of course, not nullify that it is possible that things can, we call it a tipping point, that things happen, whether you have planned them or not, it depends on what God has planned into your life. However, I've realized as well that when you have a plan in mind, you will attract those things because these are the things that you constantly think about and you are always also plan. You already see them manifesting in your life before they even happens.
Absolutely.
So the different mentality, the different mindset that is playing now, and unfortunately we are different. And I think that's where maybe some of our work come to play now as mentors, to help those who can't get themselves up, to help them with paradigm shift, new perspective, so that they can be able to breathe a bit better. And there are those whom you can help, unfortunately, but there are those who definitely will not survive this moment. It's a sad thing because sometimes you want to rescue everyone, but it starts with the willingness to rescue yourself so that others can meet you halfway.
Yeah. So the other thing that I know, as a small business, as a small business owner myself, and with all the guys that I work with and that I support, it's very difficult, or it's very seldom that you get a small business owner that has managed to separate themselves from their business. And when you go through a period where you are uncertain about your business, and there's uncertainty about how you go, your whole identity goes into crisis. Do you have any tools or tips that people can maybe use to just bring a little bit of calmness so that they can take that moment to retire, as you say, and just view the world slightly different?
Yeah. There's so many tools that I can give people, but one of the things that they still have to do, people don't like doing. They don't like, you can even give them a book to read. They will not read it. So the thing is to change their mindset from lack to prosperity.
Yeah.
They need to believe that they already have it within them to accomplish what they wish. Just this morning, I did an audio to say, you are enough. You have it, everything within you. You're not coming from a point of lack, even when you were born. You are already coming from a point of complete. You are complete. You are well capacitated. You are given all the tools and the talent and the skills. It's just that every time as we grow, we start unleashing such potential, and you discover that you are capable. But it has always been within you. It's just that something helped you to pull it out of you. And so how you can pull it out of yourself, firstly, is the belief. Test your belief. Look at yourself when you have money and when you don't have money. What kind of emotions that arises within you? When you don't have money, does it inspire you to go and do more, or does it put your spirit down that you want to go to bed and sleep? When you start doing that kind of assessment, because before you can get to a point of developing yourself, you need to assess. Look at the truth that comes when you ask yourself questions to say, do I believe that I'm a good salesperson? Do I believe that I've got something to give to the world that they can listen to? And if ever the answers are no, then let's start working on how you can do that. And that's basically, there's a lot of YouTube videos, trainings, development that can help you with that specific area that you believe you don't have. A session before this meeting, I was talking to a lady who says, I am appointed as a manager, but I don't believe that I deserve that position. Then I said, are you telling me now that your managers and everybody else who put you in that position they see you more than you see yourself? And she says, but no, I know that there are people who better qualified for that. And then I asked, where does that come from? Because some of the beliefs that we hold so close and they become our truth, they stem from our childhood, they stem from the word that has been spoken upon us. And once we went deeper into analyzing where does that belief comes from, only to realize that from school, her teacher said something that made her believe that she's not good enough.
Yeah.
So majority of us have to revisit our past, have to revisit the things that we've given power, that now today they become what we believe we are, and yet it's not true.
Yeah.
So that's part of self-assessment. And once you have done that, put them down in writing, and then put the plan to say, what can I do to develop myself in building my confidence? What can I do to actually speak better English? Because some are stuck into thinking, I can't speak English, and hence I would rather be quiet than to voice my opinion and put my facts across. Mm-hmm. So as long as you have not taken moment and you go into understanding who you are, you will not know where to start.
Yeah.
And the second thing is affirmations.
Very good advice. Very good advice.
And the second thing is affirmations. A lot of things that we have in our subconscious mind are things that we believe and we heard with our ears, we saw with our eyes, and then we spoke as well. So reverse it by doing exactly the same process in how they got into you. Speak life. So meaning, if you believe that you are not qualified enough to do 1, 2, 3, already affirm yourself that you've got skills and ability to do 1, 2, 3. Do affirmations. Because you also don't fix your eyes in the limitations. Seek things that are actually helping you with positive thinking. If at this moment you see that when I opened my fridge, there's nothing in the fridge, move away from the fridge. Go and switch on the TV, or go and find a book that will help you focus, move away from the situation.
Yeah.
It is not always easy. What I'm talking about is not easy, but it's doable, because the only way you can get out of the pit or get just out of the difficult situation is through going through fire. And going through fire is not easy, but at the same time, you will come out a better person.
Yeah.
So it takes you trying and taking action of waking up, and with positive mindset, waking up to do something that will help you with your health, your spirituality, your well-being, all the things that are edifying and subtracting from. Yeah, and affirm, speak, because you are listening to yourself every day. And some of the people believe that only when you speak negativity, you are actually the wrong person. I always say, even the one who thinks negative things is the wrong person. So be aware of the two. They are all as powerful.
That's very true. And what you were saying, if you're standing in front of the empty fridge, move away from the fridge. It's by standing in front of that problem is not making it any less. So you may as well move away and do something different to just get your mind off there, because standing in front of that problem just means that you're stuck and you can't go anywhere. And I think a lot of times people feel that, to get out of the situation, they have to come up with the solution. But we can only imagine from, and our imagination is so limited. So we can only imagine the outcome based on what we know. But that limits you from doing something that is unimaginable. And it's to not lock yourself into the solution has to come from myself, and rather let me put myself in a position where the solution is available.
Yes. Do you know that, let's take our example of the fridge. There are people with empty fridges, but they will not pick up a call and tell their mother that the fridge is empty. Because their pride doesn't allow them to do so. So there are many people with problems, but they have solutions around them, but their pride does not allow them to reach for that solution, because they believe, I don't want people to think I don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't want people to see that I'm lacking. So people, as long as you keep on wanting to hide certain things about you, will forever be in prison of your own doing. Yeah. Because that's you won't even get help. I mean, we have seen many entrepreneurs when they are running businesses, they are under impression that when they present their stories to the investors or to anybody who's willing to help them, they need to show a beautiful picture. And people then fail to see the need because they are not expressing where the needs are and where they can be helped so that they can move forward. They hide their limitations, they hide their incompetencies. So when you hide what you can't do, you can't get help. And that's the mentality we need to change, because it has stemmed from the thing of people believing that you need to show that you are successful. Even people who are successful today had to fail so many times, and they take those failures as part of their lessons into developing themselves for a better tomorrow. So there are a lot of people, really, when they open the fridge, which is the second type of a person, they truly don't have anything in the fridge. They truly don't have anything or anyone to reach out to. But then they sit in their corner and close themselves up.
Yeah.
I think it's only given that the universe, we are all connected as people. And some people, it's not about the immediate family, anyone who can help you. Even someone who is your neighbor could be the person who is called as an angel into your life to help you, provided you are free enough to say, I need help.
Exactly. And a lot of people, and a lot of times people are looking exactly for the opportunity to help, because at that stage I feel that a lot, where I feel that, do I have a purpose? Am I making a difference? And by somebody asking me for help, it helps me, because now I feel that I'm contributing and what I'm doing has meaning.
Yeah. When we start business, there are many people who are willing to help, provided you're open to receive the help. When you go to them and say, I'm starting a business, I don't have a chair in my office, can you please give me a chair with an exchange that I can do a graphic design for you with matter? People don't do that. They don't do that anymore. I feel like it's not the matter of people don't do it. It's just that they need to rewire their minds differently, because it has always been told that you can't be a beggar. You have always been told that you can't look desperate.
Buzoletho, this was such a fantastic talk. I'd really like to do another one, maybe in a few weeks' time. But if people want to reach out to you, how can they get hold of you?
I am very much vocal on social media. If they just do #MindRetirement, you'll find me in all platforms. But my name is Buzoletho Modimokhale. Very much, if you look into that name, I'm Googleable. So,
all right. Thank you so much for your time, and have a blessed evening.